Welcome, Taurus. My name is Drew, and this will be the Indigo Void. I'm doing your reading from September 14th, 2020 to the 21st, Monday to Monday. Really appreciate you being here. Today I'll be doing a general spread along with a You Against the World spread and an Indigo Angel Oracle card for better clarity at the end of the reading. And if I haven't told you this before, if you haven't heard it, Tauruses are awesome people. My mom and my brother are Tauruses, my grandmother is a Taurus, and especially if you're a Taurus ascendant, you guys are gorgeous people. I really appreciate you guys being in this world because I really enjoy looking at you. I can only see a Taurus ascendant person when I walk outside. You know, they just walk with self-worth, and they hold themselves really well, and they're typically very clean and well kept, and they just exude that Empress energy. I mean, even if they're dead broke or whatever, they still hold this energy that I really resonate with. I mean, I myself, with my Leo sun, I can appreciate somebody that has that regalness. I can appreciate somebody that has strong self-respect or whatever. And me, I like to be noticed when I walk into a room, but I'm the one noticing them, which is awesome because to take my attention off of myself for once, because I'm an egotistic son of a bitch, that takes something. And so Taurus has got that. So hopefully that made you feel good. I enjoyed saying it. Alright, so let's get your energy out there, huh? 10 card Celtic spread for Taurus. At the center we have the 5 of Cups, crossed by the 2 of Wands. Above you is the 9 of Wands. Below you is the 6 of Swords. In your recent history is the Devil. Your near future is the 8 of Swords. Your vice is the Queen of Pentacles. How will to see you is Temperance. Your hopes and fears is the Page of Swords, with the outcome being the 7 of Wands. Oh my God, Taurus, oh my God. Alright, man, so this is a lot to handle already. This is like night and day from Aries, what I just read. So if you're dealing with this, I can apply this for any measure. If you have the ascendant, your sun, your moon, your Venus, it can apply to any of those signs, especially within your chart. So especially if a house in Taurus, whatever, with a lot of planets in, or it's just has a house, whatever, that you can be experiencing this energy. So let's go through it. My God, especially with Uranus going through your sign right now, about to go, I think it's retrograde currently. So the 5 of Pentacles crossed by the 2 of Wands, and the 5 of Pentacles to me is focus on something that's just more important to you, but obviously it's it's not very emotionally fulfilling for you, and it just has so much. It has so much more importance to you to focus on when you have other things that are very valuable, can get you out of the situation, but you don't want to focus on them. It's like, I get it when we're set on something in our hearts that we really want that, even if it's not best for us, but our conscious mind won't listen to the higher power above us, within us, that's saying there's other things out there that are more valuable if you just put better emphasis or attention to them. In a sense, I often get the term, because you can see this card, this one's worth showing you, is that, this woman's chasing the angel, and the angel is Eros, and, she's not on the spiritual plane. She's a human chasing an angel, and she can't see this being, but it's like it finally came to expose himself and show her, and she's chasing it. She's not even focusing on herself. She's just she wants that angel so bad that she's willing to give up everything emotionally for this, and because she can't have that, all of a sudden becomes way more valuable because it's not available. And crossed by the 2 of Wands, it's like you need to learn to take some action outside of this stuff. I mean, with this 2 of Wands card, we can see here that holding 2 wands, having having your mind and your soul, I would say it's like your subconscious, your conscious, your actions, you know what I mean? Like you have options, and you can experience growth, but in that cave, is the teacher Chiron, and he's teaching you spirituality, the faith within the spirit, You have the mind and the body, but you don't have the recognition of the faith of the spirit. And I can just see here with the 5 of Cups, whatever, that it's, keeping you from finding that emotionally and worth of it, like, finding it worth your time to grow, to take action. So I see stagnation here. I see you just, feeling kind of depressed and, distracting yourself by the things, just having reoccurring thoughts and not willing to move, and that's so Taurus, not to be stubborn and not to move, not to take advice. And that's just me being general. I'm not talking personally to you watching this video and insulting you by saying you don't listen to anybody. But at the same time, when you're set in your ways or whatever, it's going to take a lot to move you. And Taurus being the most stubborn sign, being the fixed earth, it's just, I can see here that you just need to, get up and, go into that dark cave and take action to recognize faith, recognize faith in yourself, whatever you can overcome this. And honestly, that thing's not even that worth it. Whatever you're chasing emotionally, it isn't worth it. And as soon as you realize that, realize what you're emotionally invested in that you can't have right now, or that's blocking you, or that's tearing you up inside, whatever, it's not worth your time. I'm sorry I have to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm trying to help you here by saying, the sooner you recognize and take action and put it in something else, the sooner you get out of this emotional hell. Do something different, do something with your time. Don't fall into that definition of insanity and try the same thing over again, trying different results. Otherwise you're always going to be chasing this thing that's running away from you. Invest in yourself, find something else to do, find a hobby, find a way to grow, find a skill to invest in, try something different where it pulls your energy away from this thing and magnetize it back to you instead of running for it, because it'll always be out there. It'll always be, in front of you, running away and having 5 feet in front of you with a gap that's never going to close. Accept it. It's never going to get close to you as long as you chase it. So just stop chasing it and invest in yourself. Take action through yourself. And I don't care if that's just, if you, well, it's not right to say it, but if you haven't showered, just really invest. When's the last time you really gave yourself like a nice bubble bath and really like scrubbed yourself down, got in between those toes and, painted your toenails if you're a female or a male that enjoys doing that, or, made yourself a nice dinner, and just even with yourself, if you're going through a breakup or having trouble with your family or just your self-worth issues right now, really take the time. This could even be saying, invest in like something to work out with, work out at home if you're lucky enough to have a home, or you're able to have access into a gym where you live. I would say just work on yourself, and make this thing want to chase you instead of chasing it at the current form. Just the more you show it that it's not worth your time and you recognize that, it's just going to make it more attractive. It's going to want you, because as long as you chase it and you continue to show that you want this thing, it's just going to, like I say, like if I wanted you, looking at you right now, I would stop and come back. If I didn't want it, I wouldn't be running away. And we can see above you with the Knight of Wands. This is kind of like a more obvious of the reading to me. It's like what's obvious in your mind is this blockage. So, with the Knight of Wands, we can see like this person here, or this ship. I'm sorry, I misspoke. The ship is facing, the final blockage. You can see the goal, but you're being trapped. It's almost like you're dealing with somebody within prison in a sense, the bars, or being on parole, or a restraining order in a sense, where it's like you can, see the person, you can stalk them on social media, you can see them out there in the store or whatever, but you can approach them. Or maybe it's like, your actions are just hindering you. That's what I see here. It's just like something you want so bad to take action towards, whatever, but something within you is not allowing you to do it. This could be dialing somebody's phone number. This person that's running away, or it's not available. It's because they're running away that makes them so attractive or whatever, and that they're already running away. So just taking action to go see them or talk to them or whatever is just stopping what's inside you. How many times have you written a text message and deleted it? I'm asking you that. If you have done that, how many times have you tried to call somebody and as soon as like the phone starts ringing, you hang up? Or you can't sleep, or you can't do anything with your life because there's so much attention spent on this. But deep inside, what's not very obvious to you, whatever, is that, if you take the advice here and invest in yourself with the Two of Wands, that it really wants you to understand with the Six of Swords, is that, this mental storm you're dealing with, whatever, this, hurricane of hell of reoccurring thoughts, or your mind wandering, seeing people with other people, if you've been dating somebody, or these fantasies of them, being with somebody else and they're having dinner and saying, you're the best person I've ever had, and they just make you feel so insignificant, or this job, or this, your self-worth is so, attached to this, emotional Five of Cups energy that is stagnating you. But if you realize, if you take action with the Two of Wands and you pick yourself up and start moving, and, you move your mind, you move your body, you clean your house, it just kind of like takes your mind off and allows you the sense of control, and you just, you take a nice bath, eat a nice healthy meal, or you eat healthy, and you don't have like, any negative things like sugar, things like that in your life or whatever, for example, and all of a sudden like you lose 5 pounds, you buy a new set of clothes, a new outfit to wear, or you wash your car, or you have a nice clean house, and somebody walks in your house that just comes over and they say, wow, like, it looks really nice in here, and that slowly builds up and builds you a confidence boost. With the Devil here in your recent past, it's negative. This is an addiction to something emotional. You're feeling you're facing an addiction to something emotional, and to me it's like the Devil is just saying like you can't do this on your own. You can't achieve the Two of Wands. You can't evolve into the Three of Wands, whatever, that accomplishment of recognizing the power and action through your spirit, the faith. And it's saying, the Devil was saying, you know, if you can't develop that, if you're not going to do it, I'll do it for you. And whatever you're like, you know, attached to, whatever gave you this Five of Cups and is running away, it was super negative. It was not good for you. It was not meant for you. And then there's illusion. And although you could unchain yourself at any time from this energy, you know, see it for what it was. See it for what it was. It brought you nothing. You know, it brought you nothing, or it brought the worst out of you. You have a lot of self-respect and self-worth. You're a very attractive person. And I know, even if you don't believe that, you know, and sometimes, you know, it's just not right for you to have to go into the energy of the devil, because he wants to blind you with, you know, partying, drugs, or anything that's super addictive, that's, you know, fun in the beginning or fun in the moment, but the longer it goes on, the more it feels weird. It feels weird until, you know, it's too late. You know, we've wasted a year of our lives, you know, distracting ourselves. We have to, everything that everything that he gives you that seems like a blessing, whatever, the devil here, it will take you time. The reap what you sow thing. That's why it represents with Capricorn here, is that the more you party with the devil, and the more you sow, you know, spend time in that energy, whatever, you're gonna have to go back and re-sow and undo everything you spent that time doing. So if it's better if you just recognize those habits, you know, how you're spending your time, is it a positive? You know, get a piece of paper out, and if you have to, you know, mark down everything you do during that day, whatever, and analyze at the end of the day. Was that good for me, or was that bad for me? Was that good for me, or was that bad for me? Did this pay off, or did I do nothing? You know, and being paralyzed, and you're not going to find anything in the devil but like empty promises, not even half-truths, just straight lies. That's what I can see here. The new future is the Eight of Swords. And this is recognizing the devil here. This is also recognizing that it's within your mind. Like I said, this mental prison, this mental thought process. You know, the sooner you recognize that it's all within your mind, if you just change your perspective and just get out of your head and take some action to distract yourself in a positive way. You know what I mean? Like, the more you invoke this devil energy here of the potato chips and not a healthy diet of, you know, whether it be like intermittent fasting or something that's, you know, enjoyable, it's going to satiate your body, mind, and spirit here, some growth levels, some way to achieve something in your life, whatever. All of your self-worth and self-value be tied up in this Five of Cups situation. And you recognize the blockers with the Nine of Cups where you can't go down that path to achieve it anymore. And the Six of Swords will never come. That storm will be so violent, and it's going to drive you straight to, it's going to grind you to dust until you recognize the energy of the Eight of Swords here and realize that only you can get out of the mental prison. I had the same issue with the reading last week, where it was somebody that was just so stuck in their head, and it didn't matter how many times I would say something, whether it be somebody like, you know, a celebrity that you look up to, I guess. I don't know anybody that looks up to celebrities, but anyway, somebody important in your life, nobody can get to you. Only you have the key to that mental prison here. So recognize they're yourself. So say with these words. Maybe you need to say them because maybe the only person that you can listen to is, it's all on my head. I need to take action to something that's productive, that will increase my self-worth, and not put my self-worth into things around me, or somebody, or an occupation, or a title. You know, I don't care how many followers you have somewhere else. I'm saying the self-worth and the stuff you have within you is the most valuable. So please, 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 it's all in your head. I really appreciate it if you just get to the Six of Swords energy, because I don't want to see anybody like this. Anybody. And the advice is the Queen of Pentacles. And it goes right back to that Two of Wands, because if you invest and you learn that trifecta of the mind, body, and spirit together, and it harmonizes and allows you to have the inspiration, that spark to achieve, and eventually get to the Four of Wands, people recognize you as the person transformed because of the things you've invested in with your time and the passion for them. You know, they resonate with you and they want to party with you through the Four of Wands because you're a person that has balance and they're able to have passion towards things in life that matter to them, and they have value and things around them, and they manifest into the Queen of Pentacles eventually through their actions, because the Queen of Pentacles, she invested within herself. She has a lot of materialistic things, awards, you know, things that accomplishments for her. You know, people recognize that because she has a nice, beautiful gold throne. You know, in that pentacle, it represents, you know, things that people can recognize. You know, it's like, okay, so I was alone for 6 months, and so what did I do? You know, I learned how to, weld, and I built all these sculptures, whatever. I'm really proud of them. Where I got an art book and a sketchbook, and I started sketching, like, you know, first it was like, you know, stupid things, and I eventually developed characters, and now it's, you know, it became like a series or whatever, and I started writing children's books, and now my name's on children's books, and people started recognizing me, and they can recognize me for what I did with my time. And I mean, a good example is, you know, whether it's popular or PC or not, but I would just say is that J.K. Rowling, if you read, like, you know, her story and how she wrote the Harry Potter books, you know, desolate, very broke, and she wrote them on a napkin pad, and it became this huge franchise that is today. I was just in the store today, and I saw Harry Potter coffee mugs, and it's been forever, and Daniel Radcliffe and all those actors, they will never escape those roles because of the importance. And I grew up in the early 2000s and mid 90s, and seeing kids at the bookstore line around it. I mean, it was just a different time, and you get to see, to have like the internet on, like social media not as widespread, and having to live off mainstream news, and just the popularity and the recognition for that stuff is just like that to me is like the most potent Queen of Swords energy I can recognize in society. So emphasize that. Take your example. Maybe I would say read an autobiography of people that have achieved stuff, and you'll really recognize they came from the same pressure points I can see in this reading here, and you can really become the Queen of Pentacles, become a dude of recognition, and have so much self-respect through, because this is the Queen of Pentacles, which also resonates with Taurus. It's that self-worth, self-investment, self-time, self-skill, hone those skills, and your achievements will attract people, and eventually it'll eliminate any reason to feel this way, because you won't need it in something else. You'll have it within yourself, and that's your advice. How others are seeing you as temperance, and so I can see them as you're having to learn how to balance something that was super important to you and transition something that wasn't into something that's better. I can see here the angel is transitioning water from a gold cup to a silver cup. When gold first place, silver second, I guess you could say, but also the conscious mind with the subconscious mind, and having to really get rid of the thought process that we're constantly reoccurring. I mean, that's just the key to magic right there. Is as soon as your mind gets off this Five of Cups energy is when it stops being you chasing it, and you let it go to the subconscious. It all of a sudden, your conscious mind forgets about it, and boom, it comes right back up. And so I would just say that's how you attract things that you're looking for in your life. As soon as you stop focusing on something, after intensely focusing on something, it really does magnetize yourself, and it comes to you when you least expect it. So if you keep on remembering something and you really, really want something, by the time you remember it later, or as soon as you forget about it and you don't want it anymore, that's when it comes right up. So people are recognizing you as having to pour and having to really get rid of these emotional states within what you recognize in your life. This emotional destruction right here, having to really filter out your conscious emotions and what you're feeling right now it's tricky. It can be tricky. That's why the angels walking out water. It's an angelic being, because it seems like it's something that the most purest of people can do. And if you're not a pure person, it's why it's mythical. It feels like, well, no human can do this, but honestly you can. If you embody the qualities of an angelic being or whatever, if you have no forgiveness, if you have no hatred in your heart, if you have no bitterness or whatever, if you're able to embody the forgiveness and understand, the emotional spectrum of the rainbow here, and recognizing those patterns within yourself, and finding ways to see, these beautiful hills and valleys and this nice easy stream mentally, just understand you're just going down that path or whatever, and all things are beautiful. Negative times are just as valuable as good times. And without these negative times, we'd never enjoy and recognize good times in life. And the sooner we get off that, that pendulum, we go against emotions, and we don't recognize the forest for the trees, we can never achieve what this temperance card is doing. And that's how you do it. Have forgiveness. So forgive whatever situation is going on. Forgive yourself if you have to. And the next card right here is the Page of Swords, and this is in your hopes and fears section. And I can see that you're mentally obsessed, thinking this Eight of Swords energy will only be cured. The Six of Swords energy will only happen if you get clarity on a situation that you're just obsessed about. You just want to know more. You want to know what this Five of Cups, why is it not coming to me? Why is it not going the way I want? Why do I feel this way? Why do I understand? That's what I can say is why do I not understand is the Page of Swords, and I need to know. But I can see right here is that's not going to get you anything. The Queen of Pentacles here is going to get you everything. But the more to increase knowledge increases one's sorrow, in my experience. So the less you know, ignorance is bliss. So it's this situation, just stop. You're wasting your time. Why hope for that? Why hope for something information that's just not important to you? You know what I mean? Focus that Page of Swords, that wanting to understand about something healthy. With the Two of Wands, you should want to know what's in that cave, not this stupid angel that's running away from you. Understand, you should have that craving, use that same enthusiasm, that same curiosity towards something else that benefits you. And it can't be a person. Let the person come to you. Fix yourself and let the other things fall into place. But it's going to seem so complicated because you think this stuff is bullshit. You know, in my mind, you know, Tauruses, probably think this stuff is all bullshit. So, and with the outcome, Seven of Wands. And to me, this is too many cooks in the kitchen. You're trying to get everything done at once, or you're trying to do one job at a time, and you're trying to direct every different person. You're trying to do one thing at a time and trying to have a bunch of situations where, you know, it's so complicated. And I just spoke about this with Aries. The reason they're having so much success is because of the simplicity. So you're trying to do a bunch of things at once, and you have a bunch of half-finished things that have nothing to show for themselves. And at the end of the day, you know, it's just, there's nothing more frustrating, whatever, after a bunch of things that are half done and you can't enjoy one thing. It's like, you know, 1 minute you're trying to relax and you have work to do, so you think about the work, and when you're trying to work, you're saying, I didn't have time to relax, so this is being unorganized, all in the name of brushing. You know, plan out your day. This is saying really, like, take the time to, you know, write some things on paper, make a plan. Make a plan on some things that are important to you, not important to you. Realistic goals versus goals that will take more time, and get the hardest ones that are in the shortest amount of time done. And it's just such a sad reading. I'm sorry. That's all I can see right here is that, you know, just invest in yourself. You know what I mean? You're the sign of self-worth. So I can totally understand, I guess you're going through situations with Uranus there. So I can only imagine. And what are we dealing with right now? We're dealing with an opposition. I know we're dealing with a square. I think it's like Venus squares Uranus. No, yeah. Yeah, Venus is squaring Uranus with Taurus and Leo. Whew. No wonder. No wonder. Yeah, we also we just had Saturn oppose Venus, didn't we? With Cancer and Capricorn. Whew. I'm sorry, Taurus. I'm really sorry. All right, 3 cards for you and 3 cards for the world. Let's see what the world's looking for you to do and how you're going to do it within the world with the mutual energy. Okay. And the world is for the center energy. The Queen of Pentacles for you, the Knight of Swords, the Seven of Wands. For the world is the Queen of Swords, the Magician, and the Knight of Pentacles. Right off the bat, we can see the middle lesson here is definitely the world is completion. Understand the cycle has come to an end. Experience growth with the knowledge you have gone through this path of the Fool's journey. Going from 0 to 21, you know, all the situations you experienced those times, they were meant for you. And if you're going through a tough period right now, it's time to learn from those lessons you went through. And if you forget them, you're going to have to go through them all over again. And the recognition of a cycle being over will be hard to understand. You won't find the beauty in it at all. You won't find how to avoid those pitfalls the next time you go through. Or find the path of the Fool enjoyable again, because, you know, they just look like, you know, obstacles you'll want to avoid instead of you want to learn from, you know. I mean, you are rewarded through knowledge of application of the knowledge you've experienced if you can recognize it for the value it has, you know. But it's just, you know, trying to get you out of the situation to complete this stuff. The world and you, the world is asking you, here's like, you know, how you would get out of the cycle and complete it. And this is the world, this is on your side, is telling you what you're doing to complete a cycle. And so I can see here on your side with the Queen of Pentacles, while on the world is the Queen of Swords. It's saying your actions are, you know, as the Queen of Pentacles, which is your energy, Taurus, is, you know, that self-investment. You know, have material goods that worth. Find something of value for yourself that makes you feel good. You know, the more you create it, the more responsibility you have towards it, and the effort it takes to make it. Those are all healthy patterns, because it takes up your time, it takes up your energy, it takes up your mind process, because you're just focused on polishing the pentacle, and it's valuable to you. It could be valuable to nobody else, but it makes you feel very worth something. And it's something you can't help you keep your mind off of, keep your attention off of, whatever. It never lets you down, and you get better at doing it. And eventually, you know, it draws, you know, people to you, and they find people will respect you for it, because it's something that you did with your hard-earned effort. And it takes a lot of time, and, you know, to most people that would be very difficult for some. You know, some people don't know how to invest and create things that are valuable. They have to purchase valuable things. They have to find other people's things to be valuable. To find things that are valuable to you and to you alone, where nobody even cares to take them away. I mean, it kind of sounds boring. You know, why would I invest in something nobody else wants? Well, that's not true, because we can see with the Queen of Swords, the world is saying, you know, handle the facts. You know, sometimes you need to listen to the real shit when it comes to life. You know, life is not these rose-colored glasses, this beautiful aspect. You understand that to keep you in the energy you're meant to experience in this world, to keep you in the proper form of being a Taurus, rising, ascendant, sun, moon, it does not matter. But the Queen of Swords is saying, these lessons, these things, these injustices that you feel are all for your own good to maintain the energy. And that's when you're straying from that energy that I'm going to really show you the facts of why you need to keep and maintain that. Because every time you go away from how you were supposed to be, how this energy is, I'm going to make sure you face these facts and understand why you're not going to get anything in this life that's valuable to you by going off that beaten path. The more self-respect and self-value you have for yourself, the more of a life you're going to have that you're going to enjoy. But if you don't face these facts and recognize those things, you're going to deal with hardship, and you're not going to have any of those qualities that Taurus carries. The next card we have for you is the Knight of Wands, and on the world side we have the Magician. Having this quick thought process where you're often trying to get past the situation, get things out of your mind so fast, or communicate very quickly, and saying things, rushing, whatever, is not the energy of the Magician. The haste and the rushingness causes problems with the Knight of Swords, having to go back, and this kind of reminds me back of the devil here, of the reap what you sow energy of Saturn, like Capricorn. So I would really be careful of the Knight of Swords energy, because sure, you might think that getting things over with without learning the lessons from them, you can get to the 0 to 21 of the World card very, very quickly. But if you don't learn any of the lessons and you skip all the boss battles, the major arcana, the Magician energy will never come to you. The Magician recognizes the balancing and the honing of the skills of the swords, of the cups, of the wands, of the pentacle, the valuable of them all, and how to hone those skills and use them to his or her advantage. That's how you complete the cycle and learn the lesson. So stop rushing through life's lessons. Stop rushing through the fool's journey. Hone these elements of your life. Hone how you respect yourself emotionally. Hone what you do with your time through your actions. Really enjoy those accomplishments that you're responsible for, and own your thought process. Whatever. When somebody takes over your mind and rents space in your head for free, you've lost that, and it's able to polarize you, and it's able to make you move. And when almost like when situations say jump, or you just ask them how high, whether you're conscious or whatever. Not, you're a puppet. You're a puppet, and somebody else is pulling the strings. The Magician has no strings, and the Knight of Swords, whatever, he just thinks that getting the game over with, speed running through life, speed running through lessons, speed running through relationships. You wonder why things are over before they even begin. You wonder why you can't maintain anything around you and it's falling apart, because you're not honing the skills of the Magician to make it last, or to find something better. And you're going to keep on going through these cycles of hell and reliving them. Sure, you can get them over with, just break up with somebody, find a new one, find a new job, find a new one. But how old does that process go? How many times is a Taurus? How many times is a fixed earth sign? How many times can you start and stop? How many times can you do that, honestly? Do you really want to have something be really awesome for the weekend, and then by Monday it's trash, and then have to find something by next weekend, and you can't, or you just recognize and run out of options, or people will understand about you, saying like, I can't hire this person, they're a mess, I can't date that person, they're a mess. No. Stop. Utilize a Magician. And finally, the Seven of Wands here is take advantage with your actions over here. Have the high ground. Find the most valuable thing you can take your time with to do with this wand right here, as the wands are to do, and have the passion towards to reorganize all the other actions that are unimportant. Stop wasting your time with busy work. Stop investing your time in things that will not benefit you. Find the most valuable thing for you to do with your time and act on it, and find a way to love it and have passion for it and want to do it all the time. And I don't care if this one wand that this person's carrying right here is just like, working out. Just do it, for your health, whatever. And that could be applied to anything, not just working out. But I would just say is that take that one and make it your prized possession to put everything in order, everything in your life to go through. And to say, I'm focusing on this, and I'm going to master this, whatever, and it's going to allow everything around me to do it. So if you're working for other people, or if you're dating others things, instead of using these other wands, one of the other ones could be, I could be spending my time with this person, I could be spending my time doing this and something else that's unimportant. But ultimately, this one right here, this one's going to get me to the best possible place, where these other things are just unimportant, and these things are going to ask for your attention. The other actions are going to try to fight your mind, and it's going to say, it's like, no, but I'm more important. No, I'm more important. And you need to clarify, this is what I'm doing. So I see that part with the Seven of Wands on your end, really taking the advantage of finding something valuable to do with your time. Whereas the Knight of Pentacles, the world is saying, if you take this time and you invest in something that's super important to you, the Nine of Pentacles will come for you. The Nine of Pentacles and the World's End, whatever it's saying, sure. You know, we all want fast results here, especially with the energy of the Knight of Swords. I know you wanted things yesterday, you want them now. But if you don't understand that slow and steady wins the race, with the world of energy here, you're never going to learn this lesson and complete this journey. So understand what you invest in with your time to do whatever. Sure, it's not going to be there the next day. It's not going to be there for a while. But understand when it gets there, it's going to be there to last. As the Knight of Pentacles is the best because he's the slowest, because he knows every steps he takes is for him, and he knows that it's for his best good. And every time he looks through it, he doesn't lose any of his gear. He doesn't lose anything. He doesn't lose any energy. When he gets there, finally to his destination, he knows that he doesn't have to take one look back. And that's the most important thing. And that's how we complete a cycle here, is by not having to look back, because we understood all the lessons we learned on the way through the journey. And finally, the Oracle card. No way. I just got this card for Aries. I'm sorry. I'm going to give you one more card because I feel like that card can't be for two people, man. It's just nuts. I gotta get something else. If it comes out again, we'll see. So if that bothers you, I apologize. Alright, finally a different card. I almost want to throw away the Authority card, man. It's been coming out all the time. So think about it. Is the card we got from the Dorian Virtue deck of the Indigo Angels. Gives you better clarity if you're watching. Cool. Think about it. This card asks you to take a step back from your current path or thought process and review the situation you're asking about. There is an unseen aspect, and the angels guide you to slow down so you can move forward with the whole picture in sight. This card is also to be cautionary. If you were about to make a radical change impulsively, while it still may be the best path, this card asks you to look into an alternative first. You're exquisitely sensitive to energy, and your mission is to heal and transform negative energy into positive. However, there is always a better way to do so. This card asks you to research your options for making healthful changes that are part of your indigo mission. So that's more in tune when I feel in this energy of this reading. Alright, Taurus, good luck out there. I'm sorry for the painful reading, but it happens to us all. And it's actually going to be a really big growth period, and I can't wait to see how you come out at the end of it. Once again, my name is Drew, and this is the Indigo Void. I'll see you next time on Monday the 21st. Good luck.